a society that claims to protect the greatest secret of Christianity. Truth or conspiracy? Myths, legends, and dangerous truths. The Priory of Sion is the story you were never meant to know. If you watched our last video about the Knights Templar, you'll notice how these stories intersect. The Priory of Sion lies at the heart of a web of mysteries involving crusaders, popes, and even some of the greatest artists in history. What were they hiding? And why would so many risk everything to protect this secret? In this video, we'll peel back the layers of mystery surrounding the Priory of Sion, and you'll uncover a shocking detail that could change everything we think we know about the Holy Grail. To understand the Priory of Sion, we need to travel back in time to the year 1099, right in the midst of the Crusades. At that time, Europe was steeped in religious fervor and bloody battles for control of the Holy Land. It was in this context that, according to documents known as the Dossier Secrets, the Priory of Sion was supposedly founded. According to these documents, the priory was established by King Baldwin I of Jerusalem with the aim of protecting priceless Christian secrets, including the Holy Grail. Initially, it functioned as a religious brotherhood tied to an abbey called Notre Dame de Sion, located near Jerusalem. The group supposedly dissolved and disappeared over time, but continued to operate in the shadows. Interestingly, this alleged secret order is said to have had close ties to the Knights Templar. Some theories suggest that the priory acted as a strategic force, while the Templars served as the public face, physically guarding the secrets protected by the Brotherhood. But what exactly was the Priory of Sion protecting? According to some versions, it wasn't just the Grail as a chalice, but something far more dangerous. A truth that, if revealed, could shake the very foundations of the Church and rewrite the history of Christianity. What made this brotherhood so enigmatic? And how did it survive in the popular imagination for so long? To answer that, we need to explore its direct connection to the Holy Grail and the real reason behind its fame. The Holy Grail, one of the greatest symbols of Christian mystery. For many, it is the chalice used by Jesus at the Last Supper, later used to collect his blood during the crucifixion. But for others, it represents something far more enigmatic, a symbol of a secret lineage that could alter the course of human history. For centuries, the Grail was depicted as a physical object, a sacred chalice sought by kings and knights, as in the legend of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. But in the 20th century, this view began to shift. A new theory emerged, suggesting that the Grail might be much more than that. In the 1982 book, Holy Blood, Holy Grail, the authors proposed that the Holy Grail was not an object, but a metaphor for something extraordinary: the sacred bloodline of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. According to this view, Mary Magdalene was not just a follower of Jesus, but his partner and the mother of his descendants. Where does the Priory of Sion come into this? It was said to be the secret society tasked with protecting this bloodline over the centuries, hiding it from powerful enemies like the Catholic Church, which would have every reason to keep such a story buried. One of the most intriguing elements of this theory is the priory's alleged connection to some of history's greatest minds. Its grand masters were said to include names like Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, and Victor Hugo. These figures supposedly used their genius to hide secrets in works of art, literary texts, and even scientific equations. If this story is true, the Priory of Sion would have created a network of symbols and coded messages to preserve its secret. One example often cited is Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting The Last Supper, where some claim to see hidden clues supporting the theory of the sacred bloodline. But is any of this true? Or are we looking at one of the greatest hoaxes in modern history? To answer that, we need to examine the documents and revelations that put the Priory of Sion in the spotlight. So far, the story of the Priory of Sion sounds like something out of a medieval epic, full of secrets, conspiracies, and mysteries that span centuries. But did this brotherhood actually exist? For many historians, the answer is a resounding no. What we have here is not an ancient legend, but one of the most elaborate hoaxes ever created in modern history. The key to debunking the Priory of Sion lies with a man named Pierre Plantard, a figure surrounded by controversy and half-truths. Plantard, a Frenchman with grand ambitions, began circulating documents known as the Dossier Secrets in the 1950s. These documents were filed at the National Library of France and claimed to link the Priory of Sion to a secret royal lineage. The dossier's secrets included a detailed genealogy, allegedly connecting the Priory of Sion to European dynasties, including the Merovingians, and to figures like Leonardo da Vinci and Isaac Newton. These documents were presented as undeniable evidence of the Priory's existence and its mission to protect a sacred bloodline. But over time, experts began to notice glaring inconsistencies in the documents. Incorrect dates, fabricated names, and stories that didn't hold up under scrutiny. By the 1980s, detailed investigations revealed what Plantard had actually done: fabricated the dossier secrets entirely. His motivation? To position himself as the legitimate heir to a supposed Merovingian lineage seeking social and political recognition. In other words, he used the Priory as a tool to fuel his personal ambitions. Despite being exposed, the myth of the Priory of Sion didn't die. On the contrary, it thrived. Books like Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and Dan Brown's novel The Da Vinci Code further popularized the legend, blending fiction and reality so effectively that many came to believe in the Priory's existence. The combination of real historical elements, like the Crusades and the Templar Order, with the fantasy of secret societies and sacred bloodlines, created an irresistible narrative for the public. But why does a hoax so clearly fabricated continue to fascinate people? Perhaps it's because it taps into something fundamental: our desire to uncover hidden truths, to believe that official history isn't the whole story, and that something greater lies hidden in the shadows. The Priory of Sion is a perfect example of how history and fiction can intertwine in surprising ways. Despite being debunked as a hoax, it continues to inspire theories, books, films, and the imagination of millions around the world. Perhaps it's because, deep down, we're all fascinated by the unknown, the hidden, and the possibility that there are truths still waiting to be revealed. If you've made it this far, comment Sion below so I know you've stayed with me until the end of this journey. Your participation is incredibly important, and if you enjoyed exploring this mystery with me, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps our work and ensures you won't miss the next secrets we'll uncover together. And if you'd like to dive even deeper into the connections between secret societies and history's greatest mysteries, don't miss the video that's on the screen right now. I promise you won't regret it. That's all for today, but the mysteries never end. See you in the next video.